This video might seem a bit different and a bit more random than what we've been doing recently.
I've never done anything like that, so this is going to be a first for me. It only needs something minor fixing to it that I can do myself. Oh, I think I've locked myself in. A squeegee, a spatula, a heat gun and a stainless steel blade.
If you're new around here and you scroll back, you'll see that we converted a caddy into a camper and took it on a few adventures. Before that, before we even put things on YouTube, we also did a transit as well and stayed in that for a few months. You kind of see in the trend, the vehicles are getting smaller and smaller. So now we're in our Volvo.
We decided to take the plunge and turn it into a camper.
And we're going to go camping in that. But obviously, Danny did a bit of work yesterday doing the windows.
I'm going to be attempting to install the tint myself. I've never done anything like that, and of what I've seen on the internet, it looks pretty simple, but again, it's a tricky job. You know, the people that make it look simple are really good at it. There are a number of reasons why we might want to tint the windows on your car, especially if you're going to be using it as a camper. One of the major reasons for that is the added privacy. The last thing you want to do is wake up to people staring at you whilst you're sleeping in your car. For today's project, we have some water and soapy solution, a squeegee, a spatula, a heat gun and a stainless steel blade. And that's the film here, which maybe I should have opened earlier and make sure that it's okay, it's not damaged. Apparently it has two sides. One is like a clear film and one is your actual tint. I'm not really sure which window to start from because obviously it's a job that I've never done before. I think I'm not going to start with the boot because it's obviously curved, so that's going to need a lot of shrinking, so I'm going to leave that till last. And then I have the choice between the rear door and this window here. So this window obviously needs to be rolled down to be fitted better, so I'm not very confident of starting with this one. So I'm thinking of starting with this one, which is relatively flat. Just gonna start by giving the window a nice soapy water. To cut, I'm gonna use this stainless steel blade. So that's the first one cut. I'm just gonna peel it back out, tidy up the edges, and I'm gonna shrink it. And we'll see if it fits. So that's the first piece fitted on the outside. All I just need to do is shrink it, and this is the part where I'm terrified from because that's where it can go wrong. But just to show you the film that we've chosen, you can see a reflection and you can really see my hand from the inside now. So this is a 5% tint, which means that it only lets 5% light. And to shrink it, let me see if I can get a good angle on that. So these little bits here, like that one and that one here, are called fingers, and that's the bits that we need to shrink. And I learned that tint shrinks only factory edge to factory edge, which is top to bottom in my case. It's all fitting better than I thought, to be honest, apart from one little line over here in the corner. But I think I've got a little offcut of the tint in there, and so I'm going to try and peel it back, and now I'm going to try and redo that little bit there. Yeah, one tiny little bit of film behind it, and that's why it wasn't shrinking properly. Before I carry on and start fitting on the inside, I'm just going to make sure I give the window a really good clean. And I have this handy dandy sheet here that you use for when we load the car with random junk, so I'm just going to put that down. That is not worth it. I'll leave it here. I'm only going to peel it that far just so I don't get it like any fluff or something on it. Okay, so first attempt didn't work out. I think my toxic trait is that I watch a couple of YouTube videos, and obviously professional people make it look nice and easy. I think it's easy and I think I can do it, so I've just trimmed out the second stencil or window, whatever it is, and I'm just gonna trim it nice and neat around the corners, heat shrink it and trying to fit on the inside. Okay, so this is my second attempt. This time around I'm gonna make sure that I use a lot more soapy water on the inside, just to give myself a bit more wiggle room, and I'm gonna try and really get into place before I start squeegeeing the water out. And I can see a little dog hair right in the middle of the window, and so far it's going really well, and I'm not sure if it's worth it to actually unstick it and try and get this hair. I'm not sure how much spare tint I have. If I screw this one up again, I don't know if I'm going to have enough to actually finish the car. I'm going to check if you can see it from the outside. So that's 1 out of 5 windows done. It's only taken me 3 hours, so let's do this one next. But I'm going to speed run that one, so it's only going to take me half an hour. I didn't actually time the last one or the first one, but I tried to take my time just to make sure that I do it properly and not waste any film. So now it's 12:37. Let's see how long it takes me to do the second window.
Right,
Yeah.
49, yeah?
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
2 hours later.
So I just finished the second door. Again, it's not perfect. There are some bubbles around the edge here, but tiny little hairline on the bottom here. I can't always redo it once I've done all the rest. Rain's really picking up. I might just have to abandon it for a bit. Let's just trim at least. Right, the rain's just picked up. I was committed on finishing the last piece. Not the last piece actually. This is my third piece, it's just the back. And at least I saved on some soapy water, right? But I've trimmed it. All I need to do now is shrink it, but I don't think it's safe to use the heat gun out in the rain. I forgot it actually on the rain for a bit, so it's a bit wet, so we'll see what's going to happen when I plug in, when I try to shrink that piece. But for now I'm just going to take it off, and I'm just going to go inside and have some lunch. Hopefully the rain is going to ease off in a minute and I can finish the car today. And also, you might have seen in the video that the post lady just brought me a parcel, and I believe that is the DPF line that I need to change, because I picked it up from my MOT and I don't know how it passed MOT actually, because the DPF line is completely brittle and it's the bit is not even connected. So, and it looks like actually the rain is slowing down a bit, but it's not going to be possible to heat shrink this in the rain, so I'm just going to have to wait. Catch you guys in a bit. The rain's kind of slowing down, but I don't think it's going to stop completely, so I'm going to start shrinking that film that we put in the back. I don't think it looks that bad actually, as long as it doesn't peel off in a couple of days time, or like blisters really bad. I think I'll just leave it. I'm happy with that. Like I said, all we need is just a bit of privacy when we're camping for a night or two somewhere. I say that, now I'll go back from outside and it's going to look horrendous. But from being in here, apart from this little pesky corner that it doesn't want to stick, the rain on outside makes it so hard to gauge if it's bubbles between the glass and the tint, or is it just rain. Oh, I think I've locked myself in. Ah, it's alright, I've got the keys. And reveal. Oh shit, that's pretty bad. Yeah, the bottom here is really bad. So the rain is not showing any signs of stopping. I did this window quite quickly actually, after the boot, which is looking horrendous. I can see even more spots from here now. And I'm starting on the back window on the passenger side now. And the back is just gonna have to stay looking like shit really, but it is what it is. I can just buy some more film if I can't fix it. Anyway, I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to try and do this window now. After a few hours of grafting, it's 5:30 now, I've finally finished the windows. They're far from perfect. There's a lot of little bubbles on there. This one's actually pretty good. No issues with that one. The one in the back has got a few creases here, one there. Just overall that one's not great. This one's perfect. And meanwhile I also fitted these wind deflectors so we can crack the windows open at night if it's raining. Overall pretty happy. These are actually perfect, same as the other side. These were the easiest ones to do. And these were just like a tiny little bit of dust. That's the one I did last. I got pretty impatient, and it was raining. I just wanted to get it done and I rushed it, so I guess the microfiber cloth was a bit dirty by the time I did the other ones. And meanwhile I had a delivery actually, and I've ordered 2 new lines made in Sweden, supposedly original from eBay. They were about £50 for the pair. They don't come with the clips and I'm missing one clip, so I'm hoping to use something else, maybe a cable tie or something, I don't know. And I'll probably be fitting these tomorrow. Okay, I start tidying away, but since the weather is actually okay, the rain's stopped now, change of plans. I'm gonna try and do the lines today. And to show you what I mean, we have some sort of a sensor over here, and we have those 2 lines that are supposed to connect. I doubt you're gonna see, it's just down there. But anyway, this is supposed to be connected to something, right? But it's completely gone brittle, and I've got a replacement, so I'm just going to fit them today. Or at least I'll attempt to fit them today. I guarantee I dropped these clips now as well. Okay, well the clip is off, but that's not budging. Probably going to be covered in dirt by the time I'm done with this, but not much room in here either, but it might be easier to do it. Oh, water's leaking on me where it's been raining. Oh, come on, you bastard. Old pipe out. Just need to clip the new one in. How can I do anything with one hand? Oh, fuck off. Something's leaking. Oh, come on. Really? It doesn't reach. Oh, yeah, it does. You just have to be smart about it. Okay, whatever. I can stay like this. My God, is it tight in there? Look at me. Well, that's everything for tonight. Tomorrow morning I'm going to pick up some roof rails, which I found on Marketplace. A bit of a steal, and I'll show you what they are tomorrow morning.
Morning, we're just on our way to pick up some bits for the car. We've already got in the back some Volvo roof bars, and Danny has been searching Facebook Marketplace very meticulously for these very specific roof bars, mainly because they are flush with the thing on the top.
Yeah, they sit at the same level with the rails that we have. They came on the Marketplace literally last night, so I messaged the guy and I bought them for £20, which is crazy. We're on the way to pick up a roof box, so we managed to combine the 2 trips in one.
If you're new around here, this video might seem quite random and a bit different to what we've been doing at the moment. But if you scroll back through our videos, you can see that we converted a caddy into a camper and went on a few adventures with it until lockdown hit, and then, well, we really had no use for it anymore, so we had to sell it. And before that, not on YouTube, we also did a Ford Transit. So we've gone from the Ford Transit, which we stayed in for a few months, and then we went to a caddy, and now our next challenge is camping with 2 adults and a dog in our car. So yeah, a little bit different and a bit of a challenge, but we'll be taking you on our adventures around the UK. Got the roof box, which is taking up the entire boot. Obviously we know they're supposed to go on top of the car rather than in, but we haven't got the roof bars in place yet.
Next thing to sort would be a mattress, but I don't know what kind of mattress we're gonna pick. Probably just we can buy foam and just cut it to size. We'll see. We can we'll go back, drop this stuff off, and we're gonna do some planning.
We've just got back. Let's go have a look at the goods.
I can't believe we found those roof bars. Literally, I've been keeping an eye for roof bars like that for ages. And last night I bought this roof box, and on the way there I just found these advertised for 20 quid. So these are original Volvo roof bars. And the reason why I wanted these ones exactly is because they sit flush with these existing roof rails. Alright, go out a bit more.
Awkward.
No, go out. What we're gonna do, let's put it on the ground.
Okay.
It comes with one key, and we're gonna have to have another one cut.
Well, I thought these were roof bars. I didn't realise we had to buy extra roof bars for the roof bars.
Yeah. Alright. Now that triple checked it, just gonna tighten the actual bar. That came out, I don't know how and why. This goes on the top actually. Oh, I think I broke it. See, the whole car's moving and that's not budging.
Solid.
That's not going anywhere. There. Let's do that on the other side as well. Solid. That's not going anywhere. Alright, that's not going anywhere. Roof rails are done, everything's measured and secured. Roof box is on top, secured. I fitted the wind deflectors yesterday in the rain. The idea of it is that you can crack the window open at night and you can still get some fresh air. I fitted the tint last night as well. Like I said, the tint is far from perfect, but it provides some sort of privacy. Jonna's making herself cozy in there.
Secret door.
Looking out for secret stashes. So the next thing on my list is some sort of bed. The easiest option would be an air bed. You just chuck it in there. I mean, there's the 12-volt outlet. You just put a pump and inflate it, but we want something more permanent, like potentially a mattress or on a small platform that you can just pull out, and then you can have a cooker or just like a work surface really.
You say we. I'm happy with an air bed. You just want to build stuff.
And also I think I'm going to take the back seats out because we don't need them, and that gives us a bit more headroom when we're lying down. That's the plan. So I'm about what, 5'9", and I fit here perfectly fine, and the only thing I'm going to take out would be the seats. These are the back seats that are currently just flipped out of the way so the back can lie flat. So when we take these, that's another 4 or 5 inches of space, if not more, probably 6 inches of space here. So we gain this storage behind the front seats, and we have all this room. We just need a mattress.
There. Ada goes there.
Ada goes there.
Where am I?
Up in the roof box. Oh, I have an idea. I think we have a mattress stopper upstairs in the attic. Maybe we can do something with the mattress stopper if it's memory foam.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, I'm going to give this a clean. I'm going to bring the mattress stopper.
Okie dokie.
Before I start cleaning it, you can see all the grime underneath the seats. I think I'm going to remove these seats. What is that red stuff on it? Was the car red in the past? Do we have a stolen car that used to be red and somebody stole it and they painted it grey? This one has it as well. Interesting. We have the second seat, and now I can give the car the best cleaner it's ever had. As I'm like cleaning and lifting everything that I can lift to hoover underneath and clean underneath, I just thought if I can take the spare tire out, I could even take these out, and maybe it's going to give us a lower, like a level surface, but a lower than what it is currently. So then we can put a mattress on top of a frame with storage underneath and still have that headroom. I just don't know how much do we actually need a spare tire? I know all the new cars don't have spare tires, they just have those kits with that liquid inside of whatever it is, I don't know what it is. Or potentially we can get sort of like a mount on the back, on the boot for the spare tire, so we still have one, but we gain all the spare, like a space underneath here. That's probably something to think about later on when I'm done cleaning and when I'm trying to design a bed frame or something like that. It's a shame really, because there's a little lip there, that plastic trim. If it was flat there, I could make some pull-out drawers with a mattress on top maybe. I've seen quite a few designs like that on the internet, but there is that lip there which I can obviously build it up to that lip, but that means I'm going to lose a couple of inches of space, head space there. I'll have to think about that later on. Actually, I just had a different idea. If we sleep obviously like that with the heads here and the feet there towards that end, we don't really need the headroom here, so I could potentially put a shelf across here and that will give us some space as well. It's just going to have to sleep 2 adults and a dog for a couple of nights at a time, so even if it's not a best, it's going to have to do, and it's going to be better than a tent, I guess. Morning. Today we continuing with the bed situation in the back of the Volvo, but before that I thought I'll come out in the garden and give you a little update on some of the stuff that we planted last week, like these.
What, you mean
pak
the pak choi graveyard?
It's the pak choi graveyard. This is practically a skeleton. We had a couple of days of heavy rain. This one's completely molested.
Molested. But the one next to the chamomile is not been touched that much.
Maybe it's just coincidence because this one is.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So the pak choi is going to have to be redone again because this one's not going to survive. So over here, with I think that was cauliflower, and we're trying desperately to protect them with this
I've
cloth.
updated my pest measures.
Yeah, we're using this cloth trying to desperately protect the... Is it cauliflower or
These are
kohlrabis?
kohlrabi.
So these are the kohlrabis.
And the slugs aren't the issue, it's the caterpillars.
And
although
here,
slugs are an issue.
underneath here, even with the bottles on, you can see that these have been attacked by caterpillars maybe?
No, that's slugs.
Okay, that's slugs. So it's not all bad news though. Oh, chamomile here, it's ready to be picked. So we're going to pick some of those and we're going to try either dry them or make tea with the fresh ones. So we're going to harvest some of those later. We have another one over here. Quite a few flowers there. And you know they're ready to be picked when the petals are like flat. And that's the right time to pick them. And then the other thing I just wanted to show you is in the greenhouse. These tomatoes are doing pretty good. Look at the size of these Marmont tomatoes. Got quite a few here as well. And we actually managed to pick the first cherry tomatoes, which are not completely ripe, but with cherry tomatoes, well, for tomatoes in general, you don't need to ripen them on the plant because they ripen from the inside. So as soon as they turn like slightly blushed color, you can pick them because you can leave them for a few days and they're going to ripen. And then that is actually better doing it that way because these tomatoes don't steal the energy from the plant anymore, so the plant can focus on growing more tomatoes. And then the other thing is our pepper plants.
They're going crazy.
They are going crazy. We have one pepper on this one, another one there, and another one there.
1, 2, 3,
one more
4,
in the back,
5,
and a couple
6,
little
7.
ones on top. And same with these ones actually. There's like one down there, 2 on top, and 2 right there, with plenty more flowers. There's a tiny one there as well. So the pepper plants have gone crazy all of a sudden. I'm not sure if we're supposed to restrict the amount of fruit there is on each plant, so they can actually grow a bit bigger rather than getting loads of tiny peppers. And look at this aubergine plant, that's grown quite a bit as well in the last week, and we're actually getting a tiny aubergine right there.
Was it actually doing something?
Yeah, I think so.
Woohoo!
With another flower, but I don't know if it needs pollinating, but this is the
Wiggle
only
it.
flower currently that we have. But yeah, that's enough for the garden. Now we're going in the front to carry on with the bed situation in the Volvo. And actually, I was on our way out to the front garden and I saw this baby cucumber. Cucumbers have been really slow this year, down to the cold weather. And also the beans, which I thought are going to grow much taller than they are. But I can see some beans already. To be honest, I'm not sure the variety that we planted here. I think it was some old seeds that we had lying around, they weren't even labelled. So we're just going to have to wait a bit longer and see what they are. So yesterday when I was leaving the seats from the car in the attic, I remember that we have these cushions. They're like some sort of dense foam we used to in the caddy conversion, and these are some offcuts that we had and we just kept, and 5 years later they actually come in useful now. So we have 3 different sizes. We're just going to throw them in the back of the bed and see if they're going to work out. So the idea was maybe that this fits across perfectly, nearly, and the 2 lengths are, there you go, that's more or less perfect mattress. But the way we're looking at configuration is potentially sleeping head this way, feet that way, because it's a bit wider, so the dog can sleep in our feet. The only issue that we had is that there is no actual support for the mattress here. It would just sink in if she was trying to sleep on here. One of the ways I was looking to fix that was maybe keeping the headrest and I flip them upside down to provide some support, but that would still leaves the corners and in the middle. So today, this morning, whilst John has been in the garden sorting out all the slug damage, I've been trying to come up with different ideas how to deal with that problem. One of the solutions that I come up with was one of those 5-litre bottles, you know, that we use in the garden, because we have so many of those. We can just keep one here, and that would actually keep the mattress up. We also have like a 10-litre jerry can from years ago, from where we used to camp in the caddy. That fits down here in the middle, and that can keep it maybe as well from sagging in. But I don't really want to keep bottles full of liquid like sideways in case they spill or they move too much when we drive. That's the option 1 with the bottles. It can just sit here, the mattress is not going to sag, but I'm not sure if I like that because it's, I don't know, it's not like a permanent solution. It's like a makeshift solution, and I don't like it. And then we have this type of bottle, which is I think 10 litres or 15, probably 10, and it fits perfectly in here. It's kind of wedged in nicely, and it's the perfect height as well, so it's going to hold the mattress. We don't have to use this for liquid. We can just wedge an empty bottle in there, and then this can be a drink, potable water.
Yeah.
And then we have some more storage underneath here. Just slide out the way, put stuff underneath, slide it back here. Maybe 2 of those side by side. Maybe I'll grab some more bottles and I'll test that. Although this is food grade plastic, if there is such a thing as food grade plastic, it's the least toxic plastic. We've tested it before, it does make the water taste weird. So this won't be like drinkable water. We're still going to have to take some of those. But this is going to be good enough like washing cups and plates and stuff like that. Or even showering, depends on how long we go. Maybe we can paint it black and just get a solo shower made, DIY solo shower. I've got a bunch of different bottles that we can experiment with. I found 2 more of those 10-litre bottles and one much bigger one, which is I think either 20 or 30 litres. I'm going to start with the smaller bottles because I'd much rather have 2 or 3 smaller bottles than one big one, because if one leaks then we have a small problem and we still have another 2 bottles, and if the big one leaks then we have one big problem and no water. So let's just start cramming bottles in there. I think 2 side by side would be perfect here. Jerry cans like that are actually not a bad idea, and I think that's going to prevent the mattress from sagging. side by side. We can always wedge it in with the seat pushed back. So I've just gone back to the 3 bottles idea in the back, and then I'm just looking at if there's no actual room for the bottles to tip. They seem to be the right height. It's just that little gap in the side there, which potentially would be perfect for like shoes or flip-flops. Like you're coming through the side door, put your shoes in there. Maybe have a head torch somewhere hanging from here if you want to go like outside in the middle of the night to the toilet and stuff like that, and then your shoes are just by the door. So that might be actually a good option to doing it. I might just grab one of the cushions, put it on top and see if it's comfortable or not. I just got this widest cushion that I think is going to fit from side to side. So initially I tried it with the shorter one, and there is a bit of a gap, but I think if the dog's going to be enough feet, it will probably benefit from this cushion to be like from side to side. So we have the 3 bottles just over there, with one of the 5-litre bottles for drinking water, and then I'm gonna pop that cushion on top. Seems alright, to be honest. If I shut this door, there's still a little gap in here, but you know, I just want to see if that's gonna sink in when I put some weight on it, or the bottles are gonna hold it up. This is actually not too bad. I mean, it's only the dogs that's gonna be here. Yeah, that's more than sufficient, to be honest with you. The only issue now is that this is one of the longer cushions that we plan to use for sleeping on, and if we use it for our feet, we lose quite a bit of foam just for that area that's not actually that important. So I just started tidying everything up, putting the cushions back in the house. Back seats are back up, and I think I had a stroke of genius. Instead of putting the back seats back down from their loft and attaching them to the car, I thought, hang on a minute, because you can't just sit here, and it's not most comfortable seat in the world, but for short trips, if somebody was like needing a lift, it would be more than enough. And then I thought, hang on, instead of putting the seats back, I can just jam one of those foam mattresses here, which actually fits perfectly. And if you wanted to sleep somewhere, drop the seats, take that out, and you have a mattress and a flat surface. Actual genius. I don't know if it's legal or not, probably not, but who cares, eh? This bed situation proves to be the trickiest part of the conversion. I mean, the tint wasn't the easiest thing to do, but it's just a tint, there's nothing to plan. You just put tint on the glass. Like I said, it's not perfect. You can probably see little imperfections behind me, especially that one actually, where I cut too short and I overlap with 2 strips. But for the time being, I'm leaving it like that. Provides privacy, and it's much cooler in the back of the car actually, because it blocks the UV. And the roof box, pretty straightforward job. That's on there. It gives us massive amount of storage. We can keep stuff like gas canisters, cooking stove, sleeping bags and all that kind of stuff. Food for the dog as well. Like spare shoes, clothing, anything can go up there that we don't want in the car. But the bed is proving to be the trickiest situation that we have to plan. And if you have any ideas how you would do the bed here, just drop us a comment down below and help us out with layout. I even looked into doing like a platform with drawers that you can pull out, so you have like a cooking surface over there, but then it raises the mattress quite a bit and it doesn't leave much headroom. So you can see I'm kind of comfortably sitting up, slouching a bit, but it's still quite comfortable in here, and I don't want to compromise on the height. But with the current setup, we can always sneak in a night or 2 away. It's more than sufficient, but if you wanted to do some longer trips, we need to come up with a better setup, I feel like. But before we commit to anything more expensive or permanent, it's probably a good idea, like Joanna said, to test it for a night or 2 and see what we think and take it from there. If you like the video, please drop us a comment and like, subscribe, and in the next video we're probably going to look into finishing the bed. That's all from us. See you next time.